What? These aren't mine. Kick it! Old age sucks, but you can't, like, you hurt yourself because you woke up. Alright, thanks for clicking on this video. We're going to do a continuation of the 5 hair band records that I wasn't ashamed to own. We're going to do the ones that are 5 hair band records that I am ashamed to own. Who cares anymore? It's just a nice title to go with the other title. But anyway, hair metal. Oh, don't worry, Vince. You did not make the list. Although if I did a list of singers that just sound like dead cats, you would make that list. So heavy metal, 80s metal, hair metal, pop metal, whatever you want to call it, is still pretty big. Just this past Black Friday record store day, I went to a record store a few days after the event just to see what they had left. And they had left stuff like Saigon Kick. There. I picked that. I haven't listened. I think I owned this on CD way back in the day. They're known for their slow song, Love Is On The Way. If you ever buy those cheesy compilations where they have a bunch of love songs, that one's on it. Like Extreme, More Than Words is always on it too. But this is a heavy metal record, I guess. Came out in 92-ish, so way after the wave of hair bands was happening. They tried to look kind of a little more alternative on the cover there, but yeah, they get lumped in with all that stuff. Now, also what they had left was Mr. Big. It says only 5,000 copies of these made. The original is probably going to spend a little more. Again, this is something that people probably got on CD back in the day, but now it is available on vinyl thanks to Record Store Day. Of course, good tip. If you like the hair bands, you were from that area, or you're a younger listener, just want to listen to what it's all about, get it on CD. If you go to a Goodwill, garage sale, you get CDs for like $0.25 or $1, or just tell people you want CDs, take some. That used to be that way with vinyl, actually. People just be like, I want you to have my records. I don't want them anymore. But so anyway, heavy metal or hair bands, perfect format if you want to listen to it, is CD. I'm not going to talk about, on this list of the 5 that I'm most ashamed to own, it's not going to be more obscure bands. It's not going to be any bands that wasn't involved in the 80s, because 1990 brought us big hits from Firehouse and Steelheart. I laugh because they were like these slow, cheesy, screaming ballads. It's just so corny. It's so. Why do I own it? Sometimes it's nice to be corny, I guess. But anyway, if you're looking for heavy metal, CDs are the way to go. You can get like Killer Dwarfs, Kicks, Winger, the later Rat records. Not worth really spending, unless you really love those bands individually. It's not worth spending that to try to get represses or get the original press on vinyl. In America, we were primarily selling CDs for a lot of those, but so you have to get the import vinyl. It's not worth paying that kind of money. Band that made the list, I believe, of the 5 heavy metal bands I was proud to own, Enough's Enough, plugged their latest CD. It came out a few years ago, but I finally got around to purchasing it. The only thing is Chip's Enough now takes lead vocals. You can tell in the studio they tracked his vocals a few times, tried to help him out, pump him up. He's probably would be the first one to tell you that he's not a great singer, but it sounds all right. It's just the best Enough's Enough ever. No. You know, speaking about singers, people that actually sing great, this guy, Robin McAuley, he was in Grand Prix. Then he was in MSG with Schenker. And then he's a few other projects since then. But this is his latest. It just came out. It's called Standing on the Edge. And this guy's got powerhouse vocals even today. I don't know his exact age, but I'm assuming like 60s, something in 60s. And he has got a great voice, great heavy metal voice, great rock and roll voice. This is kind of more on that like poppy side, but for sure, check this stuff out. Rob McAuley, Standing on the Edge CD. 5 vinyl glam hair metal records that I'm ashamed to say I own. Vince, like I said, you're good to go. Number 1. Now these will be in alphabetical order. Bon Jovi. Now Bon Jovi started out. Let me see where Bon Jovi started out. Bon Jovi started out. He's like, hey guys, I got this. Put me on the front cover of all of our records. So they started out there. I think they started out. They formed in '83. And '84, this thing came out. You know, he's got some good songs. He's got Runaway, She Don't Know Me. I like that one a lot. Like a pop rock, heavy metal, started growing their hair, really long, hair metal, they got lumped into. I liked it. I thought it was alright. I liked my Bon Jovi when they came out. And then on this tour, I actually went and paid to see them. They opened up for Rat. on this one. A lot of people think Slippery When Wet is their second album, but it's actually their third. Now, Slippery When Wet, this makes the list of 5 hair metal band records that I'm ashamed to say I own. Why am I ashamed to say I own this? Well, the original cover, which they got in some parts of Europe and Japan, I'll put a picture somewhere here. Wow. Wow. Not ashamed to own that, but I don't own that. But I own this cover. It's like a trash can being wet with Slippery When Wet on it. Still has the hype sticker. Why I don't like this one, and why I'm ashamed, and why I would never take this out at a party and play it. It's just, it really commercialized heavy metal and took the threat and the anger and the angst and the scariness and the things that your parents were like, don't listen to that heavy metal stuff, and it just commercialized it, made it all hairspray and pretty, and radio started to say, oh, we like heavy metal now, and they were playing You Give Love a Bad Name, which I think is a horrible song. Living on a Prayer, maybe the first time I heard it I may have liked it, but let's say the last 6 billion times I've heard it I've not liked it. And now they played it. They play like sports arenas where they turn it off and the crowd goes, whoa. Whenever group chants happen to any songs, I usually start hating that song. Because I hate groups. I hate chants. I hate large amounts of humans. But anyway, Wanted Dead or Alive, yeah, that's cute. You're a little cowboy from New Jersey, I get it. But that slow song, Raise Your Hands, I think they used to open up a lot of the shows. I actually saw them twice, if not 3 times on this tour, because my sister wanted to go. Yeah. Wild in the Street, there's some okay songs, but this is this album is just embarrassing. It just commercialized crap, and people love heavy metal, say, oh, I love punk. No, you don't love heavy metal. You need to get some real heavy metal. Stop listening to freaking You Give Love a Bad Name. Number 2 of hair band medals I'm ashamed to say I own. Why do I own this? Band formed in California. They only had, I believe, only 2 records. They were supposed to have a third, and then problems happened. I do have the second one, I believe, on CD. The first one I bought on record. At the time, it was pretty cool. I have not played it probably since way back then when it was pretty cool. Jim Gillette, Michelangelo, TJ Racer. Was he born with that name? I don't know. Bobby Rock. I'll just show you. So the pictures alone are really worth it. And the pictures alone were so cheesy that if you buy this book, which I suggest you all probably have or should get if you're not, by Stephen Blush, American Hair Metal. They freaking made the cover of American Hair Metal, which is pretty much just like crapping on all these bands saying, what the hell were you doing? What were you wearing? They made the cover of this because the back photo for their record, they look so cheesy. And now I'm sure they all look cool. Actually, I just saw Michelangelo at Riot Fest in Chicago. He was playing with Smashing Pumpkins. And they announced him. And maybe 3 people in the whole crowd of like 10,000 knew who the hell he was, and I was one of them. Like, Nitro. But anyway, o.f.r. It stands for something, but I can't say it. Such swears. Such swears. Freight Train was good. Double Trouble. Machine Gun Eddie. Just, it's Long Way From Home. If you can Google, because they kind of changed their look on A Long Way From Home, and they had. So if you could Google Freight Train. Google Nitro Freight Train on YouTube. That's all you need to see. And a little fun fact, a lot of my friends know this. I was in a band, we actually opened up for them. They played the Thirsty Whale here in Illinois. You gotta laugh when you say Thirsty Whale. Then they were supposed to play like Wisconsin the next night, but on the way, the show got canceled, or the vehicle was acting up. Anyway, they returned to Thirsty Whale the following night, and we had a show, and all of our bands had to play earlier because we had to make room for the powerhouse that was Nitro. I don't think anyone got paid because all that money from the door had to go to Nitro. Yeah. So now, umpteen years later, you're on my list of records that I'm ashamed to say I own. Whatever this title is. Another one, the 3rd record of hair bands I'm ashamed to say I own. And everyone else there is probably agree with me on this one. Pretty Boy Floyd. Really just the band's name and the guys' names too. Get a load of this. Steve Sex Summers. Okay. Christy Crash Majors. Not Christy Majors. Dude, if you're gonna add the middle name Sex, I gotta have something too, man. I'm gonna be Crash Majors. And Vinny Cass. Oh, we should have went with Chaos. Vinny, what were you thinking of? And Kerry the Mouth Kane. He's like also, hey guys, I know I'm just a drummer, but if you guys are going with cool middle names, I'm going to be the Mouth. I don't know why. Rock and Roll Outlaws, The Last Kiss, Your Mama Don't Know, Your Mama Won't Know, I Want to Be With You, Love the Boys with Electric Toys. I think when this came out, as a joke, I bought it on cassette because I was in the era still trying to buy tapes because they were cheaper than CDs. And I was like, heavy metal's dead. These guys killed it. Blame Kurt Cobain. Oh, he killed heavy metal. No, Boy Floyd killed heavy metal. Because this came out in 1989. They're formed in 87. They just sort of broke up in 87. But thanks for killing heavy metal, Boy Floyd. The fourth band and record I'm ashamed to say I own. Now this is a weird topic. We're gonna get weird here. This is the band Stryper, Yellow Black Attack, Fighting Strong. My friend went to see them. I never saw them live, but let's kick it back to the whole beginning. So my friend made me a mixtape in the 80s. I'm gonna say like 84, 85ish, and on it was a song called "Reach Out," and he didn't put the bands. He just put a whole bunch of songs. I think he may have put the song titles written on the tape, but I didn't know who it was. And I really liked the song "Reach Out." And I was like, wow, that's a really good song. And of course, you couldn't research it on the internet or anything. This is the 80s. And I just waited to hear it more on a radio station. And then they started playing it, and then I learned the band associated with the song was called Stryper. So I went out and bought Stryper, and I thought, wait a minute, what's this thing here? What's this Isaiah 53.5? What's this dude on my heavy metal record? These guys, wait a minute. And then you start getting the other song titles like Together as One, Waiting for a Love That's Real, Together Forever, First Love, Makes Me Want to Sing. You're like, oh, wait a minute. These guys just sing about love and they like girls. But then Battle Hymn of the Republic. So you start learning that they love Jesus. Which, again, it's something weird about heavy metal. You can sing about Thor, Satan, like any kind of Greek gods, Roman gods, whatever gods. It's kind of cool, right? It's kind of weird and wicked and evil, and they do spells. But then you sing about Jesus, and it just makes people, nope, no, don't want to deal with that. Like the same kind of approach you have when like the Jehovah's Witnesses come up your front door. Like, nope, keep that away from me, please. So I don't know what it is, because I looked up some facts, and it like half of the United States population believes in God, half the United States population believes in Jesus, that he was God, and a little over that believes in God. Like 3 out of 4 people believe there's some kind of God out there. So it's a topic that's not like some small minority of people believe in, and tons of people go to church and pray and all that stuff. So, but for some reason, putting it in heavy metal just makes us all laugh and uncomfortable, and it's just weird. And then the band just got cheesier with that. Like, okay, we know you love God. We know you love Jesus. We know we should all be trying to be good. No one should sell their souls to Satan. But then they just go on to hell with the devil. To hell with the devil. So their career, I don't know. I get it. We get it. You love Jesus. Good for you. Good for you, Stryper. You know, the world's got a lot of bad people. And it's nice to have good people around. It's just, you don't want those good people making heavy metal, that's for sure. Kapow! The Last one, War. Now this came out in like January 89, and I want to say March 89. I was a senior in high school, and I went to see them at the Thirsty Whale in River Grove, Illinois, because that's where you went when you were growing your hair out and you had hairspray and you wanted to see the bands. And I looked at them as like a modern day heavy metal kind of Cheap Trick band, because I love Cheap Trick. They're my favorite band. And I thought, wow, these guys, if they don't go the way of the hair band-ish style and just stick with this rock, they're going to have a phenomenal career. It'd be a phenomenal band. I'm going to go support them. So I went to the show, and the show was crowded because they sold a lot of tickets just because I think they had one single at the time, and they were getting heavy play on MTV. Since then, after this show, they were immediately started playing like huger places because this place only hold like few people. And on their concert, I remember specifically them playing, and they sound really good. And then they said, like, this is a slower song we're going to release really soon. It's called Heaven. And I was like, oh. And they played it, and it was like, oh, sweet, it's a catchy song. And I thought, these guys are going to become really big stars off this slow song. And I hope they don't do anything stupid after this. But anyway, I don't own that on vinyl, so this is why this vinyl. So it's embarrassing because you had such a good rock and roll band that just, I don't know if the label influenced them or they influenced themselves to try to be part of that whole hair band scene, and it just was a mistake, because there's some gems on this one, and if it wasn't produced in such a stupid way, like if it had a little more harder production to it, the instruments didn't have so much, you know, reverb and echo and all that kind of crap, it just had a little more balls to it, because this band can have a little bit more balls. If you get their CD, A Dog Eat Dog, which I have on CD, the long box up there, they could rock out a little harder than this. But, so yeah, so I'm picking this one, not so much because of this one, because of what it led to, and I'm not getting this on vinyl, because this is just Cherry Pie, that song, and actually Uncle Tom's Cabin's pretty good. I Saw Red. Maybe I do like a few of this, but I'm still embarrassed. If I owned this, if I went out and bought this when it came out on vinyl, I would have been way more embarrassed ever. But to look back and probably pay $1/4 for this CD, yeah, just the Cherry Pie. The same thing with Bon Jovi. They just made something that I adored. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Anthrax, heavy metal. They made that so that the kids that would tease you in high school for liking heavy metal all of a sudden liked heavy metal because it was Bon Jovi and safe, and it was Cherry Pie and it was safe. Stupid kids. I got over all that, though. Well, I'm just saying it's stupid. So there you go. 5 hairband metal records that I'm ashamed that you won't see me pulling them out at a party. Thanks for watching.